course.
So, okay, the hour is upon us. Except for Kirby's distracted. Please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now I will call this regular school board meeting for Independent School District number 544 to order. The first item of business then is to have the clerk establish our quorum.
Kirby Anderson.
Here.
Natalie Knudsen.
Here.
Melanie Cole.
Here.
Matthew Lemke.
Here.
Missy Hermes present. Stephen Bigasa.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Our first agenda item is to entertain a motion to approve the agenda. Is someone offer that?
So move.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
I'll take Natalie on that. And any discussion on the agenda? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. The agenda is approved. We will move on to our board reports, and I'll begin with Kirby Anderson.
Alrighty. Activities, we did not meet. The 544 education, we did meet on April 14th. And some of the highlights of the meeting were the spring summer newsletter went out and had a real nice front page article about the cameras that were given to one of the classes in language arts and how they can now do professional, I think the same article at the Fergus Journal as well. And then there's a big two-page splash on the all-school reunion, talking about kindness culture, Legends golf tournament coming up on July 8th. The Legends this year are going to be Daryl Evevold and Amy Gervais Evevold and Dennis Roars. So those are the three. Daryl was a year younger than me, Amy was 2 years younger than me. And I think Danny was a little bit older. And so that's kind of a flashy little piece that goes out to a lot of people a couple times a year. Talked about the senior recognition ceremony, which is tonight at 7 o'clock. And so they'll go through all the scholarships and present those to the lucky winners. The classroom wish list email has been going out. I think that the teachers, the staff has until I believe the end of May to get their wishes submitted. We also have some alumni emails going out on a regular basis. Again, the Legends is coming up July 8th. The golf tournament, that's one of the major fundraisers. I think, let's see, that's about it for that.
July 8th or 18th?
July 8th, yep. Yes, Friday, July 8th. There was, I think there's also a Hall of Fame induction that we have every year for outstanding alumni. They did have 2 people nominated. I'm not going to say who they are because I don't think that all the families have been notified. So we'll report on that next week. On the Finance Committee report, we did meet on May 5th. Matt and I and Natalie met with Jeff and also Renee sat in that. We met with representatives from Zerberg and also Preston and talked about the Lincoln project, phase 2, and looked at some different options for reducing the cost somewhat and what some of our different options are. And so it was a good meeting, and I think I'm sure we'll be covering most of that in detail in some of our facilities meetings in the after the board meetings. And that's about it. So I'll answer any questions you might have. We're going to have another 544 Foundation meeting this Thursday. I think you have that one. So. Okay.
All right, thank you, Kirby. For my board reports, we had the Special Education Cooperative meeting today, and just general comments about rounding out the school year, some personnel hires, and then we talked a bit about the transition, as Shannon Erickson is going to be resigning at the end of June, and talked about how to bring in the new director, and so that was the primary discussion. And for Region 1, technology School District out of Moorhead. They have completed their studies on their time tracker tool that they want to offer to districts. That so far they have some test schools doing using the product, and they're doing some releases this summer. Gonna moderate it so they can do the data input accurately, but that is their own product they've developed, and they're getting that ready to go. Talked about the lunch systems that are changing around. You know, it's just kind of an ebb and flow of whatever databases are outmoded and new stuff coming in. But nothing else very significant out of Region 1, so just general business. Any questions? All right, we'll move on to Missy Hermes.
Okay, the policy committee did not meet, but the staff development committee met last Monday, May 2nd. And it wasn't a super long meeting. Let's see. We do have a balance in the budget, and they've talked about ways of using that, since, again, not a lot of in-person programs or in-service things like that teachers can go to. But we also talked about the staff development plan. That'll be presented to this body probably this summer. And then, again, firming up the fact that the staff development in services are now, one is going to be in the fall, so that what teachers learn at those services can be implemented during the year, and then the next one will be in February. So November 4th and February 24th are the two in-staff, in-service dates. And of course, when I say it's all staff, because non-certified staff can go too. And then, the other thing that happened is that there hadn't been a lot of people signing up to take the in-service this summer. Remember I told you that the project-based learning presenter that we had in February, she was going to come back, but there's a sort of a conflict in that we have a lot of teachers that are learning how to do the new curriculum for math. And so because of that already taking up a lot of summertime, and not a lot of interest, or at least I think if you teach math, you have to know how to implement that curriculum. And so maybe bringing her another time, because everyone agreed she was a fantastic presenter.
Okay. Any questions for Missy? All right, Natalie Knudsen.
I don't have anything to update from wellness at this point. And buildings and grounds, we're going to be diving in a little deeper in our work session on the facilities, and hope we can come to some conclusive, move forward answers. So nothing serious to report there at this point.
Okay. And Matthew Lemke.
Lakes Country Service Co-op met on April 14th, and just pretty much a regular meeting. The one thing that I found that was, a couple things that were interesting is just the cooperative purchasing. It's down a little bit from last year to this year, and the main reason is because of that cash-wise for food, distribution. There are schools that they're no longer doing that, so of course they're not going through the cooperative for that kind of purchasing, so of course then your purchasing goes down because you're just not using that service. So that was probably one of the main things that, one of the reasons why it's down so much from last year to this year. The other one that they talked about is just health insurance and just looking at costs for 2022. And they're believing that they're projecting that a gross increase in healthcare costs between 4% and 7%. And so I think that might be on the low side, but we'll see. So just because of how everything else is going. And so that was kind of the highlights on the Lakes Country Service Co-op. With the Minnesota High School League, their board is not meeting until June. The big thing that is going on tomorrow is that representative assembly meeting that's happening throughout the state of Minnesota. And one of the big topics on that one, of course, is that if they're going to approve or not approve at least moving forward with boys volleyball statewide. So we'll see if that happens or not. So that's kind of a big vote for tomorrow. And, so, and yeah, that's all I have to report.
Okay. Any questions for Matt?
If that does go through, that's 2023, right? There's a year before it.
Correct. There's definitely, and then it's not, you know, like anything else, like the Central Lakes Conference doesn't have that, so it's just which schools want to participate. It's trying to set up, you know, teams and playing and stuff like that. It's going to start through the Metro first, of course, and then it'll work its way out.
Do you know what part of the year, did you say what
Yeah,
part of the year?
Spring.
Spring sport.
I think it's going to be spring sport.
All right. Anything further? Otherwise, Stephen Vigasa, your reports?
Mine are very easy because I don't, the curriculum review met for the last time and we talked about the math curriculum, which we all heard a presentation on at the last board meeting. So I've got nothing to report, and curriculum review doesn't meet until the fall, so.
Very well. And Superintendent Drake?
Well, good evening.
Evening.
Kirby mentioned this already, but it's senior recognition night, so a big night for our seniors and scholarships and recognizing some of their other achievements that have happened throughout the year. So that's at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. We swept the first 3 places in the Envirothon last week, so congratulations to those 3 teams and Keith Pearson for the work that they did. We've had a lot of student achievement to celebrate this year, which has been really nice. Our Otterbots had competed at state. They're team number 3293, and you can't see this super great, but this is them right here. They finished 19th, and I think there were 36 total teams. One spilled over onto the next page, so they were kind of right in the middle in their state competition. So congratulations to them. It's a nice accomplishment making it down to state and getting a chance to compete there. So this is kind of a club sport this year. We're running drone racing through community ed, and Jesse Thorsted is the advisor. And they qualified to compete down at state, and Carson Oliphant finished 5th place in the first inaugural season for Fergus Falls drone racing. So
It is cool to watch it too.
yeah, it's quite a deal. We did our recognition program for our staff last Thursday, and Shelley Schoenig is our outgoing Fergus Falls Teacher of the Year, so congratulations to Shelley. We had 38 people nominate folks for Support Staff of the Year, and really a bevy of very well-deserving folks. We ended up selecting 4. So congratulations to our Fergus Falls Support Staff of the Year, Matt Opatz, who's a custodian here at KSS, Rhonda Mack, who works in our tech department, Drew Smith, who's a paraprofessional, and Vicki Krauser, who is a secretary at Cleveland. So congratulations to all 4 of them for their work that they do on behalf of the district and our students. We also recognized, and I really liked this coming at the end of the year. We used to do this as part of our welcome back, but we moved this to the end of the year, but our years of service, and had a chance to recognize a host of people for that, highlighted by Mike Ebevold's 35 years and Shannon Erickson's 40 years of service. And we also had an opportunity to recognize our retirees and wish them well. We did have a discussion administratively about how to handle the other kind of retirement festivities. And we agreed that the best way to do that was for each building to kind of plan their own event. And so colleagues can certainly travel from building to building when those events are done after the school day, and wish each other well in their retirement. So Thank yous. This was May 1st, which happened to fall on a Sunday this year, so it was observed May 2nd was National School Principals Day. So appreciate the work of the principals. We just finished up Teacher Appreciation Week and are basically done with our MCA testing now, maybe a little bit going on, but again, my appreciation for the work of the teachers and their flexibility this year. It's been another challenging year, but we have a lot to be really, really proud of. School Nurse Day is coming up May 11th. So they've been also especially busy since the start of this pandemic, and want to acknowledge all the work that they do to keep our students, staff, and community safe and healthy. And we have School Lunch Hero Week. Now, in true confession, there was a School Lunch Hero Day, which happened to be last Friday, but it slipped past me. There's a lot of recognition days on the calendar. And so I did find a School Lunch Hero Week, so we conveniently moved that to Monday, got a little thank you notice out, and certainly do appreciate all their hard work. We offer a very wide variety of different menu options for students, and all that work is much appreciated. Some special thank yous, Elaine, Mary, Leslie, kitchen staff and custodial staff for the extra work they did to organize and put on the school recognition program. And I also want to thank Derek and Amber for all the work that went into senior recognition night this evening. We have a lot of upcoming events on the fine arts side. I Am Frankenstein is Fergus Falls High School Theater production, and that will take place at a Center for the Arts. And then we have several music concerts coming up. So, and the Blondo Fine Arts Festival, that will be May 16th at 5. So keep an eye out on the calendar. Many, many opportunities to see the fine arts, our students show off their fine arts accomplishments in the coming couple of weeks. And then I am open for any questions.
I think last week for Teacher Appreciation Week, there was a group of parents that we support, Fergus Falls group of parents. They went to every building and brought goodies over a couple day period. Did a couple buildings every day. And so there's some pictures on Facebook under their Facebook page, and there were some pretty nice layout spreads of food. So
Yeah.
Can't believe I missed it. Don't miss them.
It wasn't school board
I know,
appreciation.
just want to have a shout out to those parents for doing that. That's very much appreciated by the staff.
Yep, very
We
much.
also had 2 students that got honorable mention at History Day, Minnesota History Day, so 2 middle school students. Let's see, so maybe a picture will come out, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen the release on that, but I will look for it.
Very good. Any other questions or comments for the superintendent report? All right, we will continue to move on for our general consent items. For approval are the minutes from our April 25th, 2022 board meeting. And then we'll hear a little bit more about approval for bills and treasurer's report.
Okay, I will do that. Steve and I met with Renee's first official meeting on the bills, and she had Marcy sit in with her. And but Renee answered every question that we made. You did, Chad. Well, I guess you didn't ask it. So, so Marcy was there, good support today. So some of the things we looked at, we had a couple of, in the $13,000 to $14,000 range, there was a couple of them there to Alpine snow guards, which looked kind of weird to me, but that was, had to do with the Roosevelt awnings. I think there was a 50% down payment and then another 50% after the completion. We did make our first payment to Zerberg. That was just under $100,000. Snow guards. ATS&R had about $29,000 out there. So we're seeing some money go out for different firms. We made our last payment to Design Intent Architects. Steve picked out one here. He was wondering what the Crooked Lane Farm Folk School is. We had $760 there, and that has to do with the quilting class through Community Ed. So we learned something there. And the first payment to R.A. Morton on the new Lincoln project went out for $4,000. So that was the bills. As far as the treasurer's report, we had our normal amount of money coming in April, May timeframe. We didn't have a lot of huge bills, so our fund balance went up a little bit, and so we're still healthy fund balance wise. So that's all I have to report, and unless any of you have any questions, and if you have any real detailed questions, then Renee will kick you on those.
I probably won't know the answer, but I can certainly find out. and get
There
back
you
to
go. So, anyway, thank you for sitting in on that first meeting, so, the first of many.
That snow guard piece,
Yes.
there will be a series of 3 rails on each side of the Roosevelt gym, and there's like cleats or spikes that are associated with them as well. And the theory behind it then is that holds the snow load basically in place so it can't slide off quickly off the building during the spring melt. So it'll hold it and it'll melt off slowly rather than coming down and causing further damage to our awnings. And it is a company whose product is supported by our roofer's warranty. So we have a pretty strong reason to believe this will be successful and hopefully solve that problem for the future.
All right. And now, under general consent, we'll turn to personnel matters with Elaine Janke, our HR director.
Good evening, everyone. My report is shorter than normal, which is a good thing, but that's always a changing event, and as we're working through even today, we'll have some additional hires ready to go for next board meeting here. So under certified staff contract hires, we have 3 teachers. Beth Skerritt, special ed teacher. She's returning. She was with us earlier, I don't know how many years back, maybe 5, 7 years back. She'll be returning to us, special ed teacher at Adams. Actually, I think it's a McKinley, isn't it? Nope, it's Adams.
It's Adams.
It's Adams, that's correct. We have a special ed teacher, new one, also at McKinley. Kyle Owens, special social studies teacher. He's going to be a combination of IQ and KSS. Rebecca Meter, she is going to be our new FACS teacher. And then under certified staff contract requests, Regina Bush, IQ elementary teacher, she's requesting to rescind rights of a .0833 FTE beginning with the 22-23 school year. And if you want to know what is a .0833, it's actually 1 class for 1 semester. So that's how that is figured out. Support staff hire, Bailey Strand, she is going to help us out as our student service coordinator for the rest of the school year. So that's exciting that we have someone in place for that. And then we have a coach director resignation of Shane Tilkey, middle school activities director, and that would be effective at the end of our school year. So I would recommend these all for board approval.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a motion to approve the general consent items?
So moved.
And a second?
A second.
All right, any discussion on any of these items? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved. And we will skip over old business since we don't have any and move on to new business where we have a resolution non-renewing a probationary teacher. And I will read this. Whereas Nathan Fell is a probationary teacher in Independent School District number 544, be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District number 544 that pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.40 subdivision 5 in parentheses 1 and the district master agreement, the teaching contract of Nathan Fell, a probationary teacher in Independent School District number 544 shall be non-renewed at the end of the 2021-2022 school year and effective on June 30th. Be it further resolved that written notice be sent to said teacher regarding the non-renewal of the teaching contract. There is an indication of the format of the letter that is to be mailed to Mr. Fell. That narrative will be in the board minutes, which are on our website if anyone chooses to see that. Signed sincerely by the school board clerk, Missy Hermes. So I will offer that resolution and move for its adoption, and I'm looking for a second.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, we will turn to the clerk for roll call.
Natalie Knutson.
Yes.
Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Matthew Lemke.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Vigasa.
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to invite for quotes for milk and related products. Would someone make that motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're welcome.
And is there a second to that
I'll
motion?
second that motion.
Thank you, Kirby. And is there any discussion on this item? How can we top it? All in favor of approving the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Which is kind of a horse thing, but anyway.
You just said moved, that means it's the same thing.
Okay.
The motion passes. Thank you. And then, next I'd like to entertain a request for fiscal year '23 food service bids. Would someone offer that motion?
I'll offer that motion.
All right, and second?
I'll second.
Very good. And any discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, that is approved as well. So we have full-bodied facilities discussion happening in our work session tonight, and undertaking the Lincoln project and reviewing that. So that's the end of tonight's meeting agenda. We'll meet again, one more evening meeting, May 23rd at 5:15. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
And actually, it was supposed to be a 7. It was switched over to 7. Do you want it that evening?
So, yes, should we discuss that? Monday, May 23rd, 5:15 meeting, that's in keeping with us going after Memorial Day to the early morning meetings.
Oh. Normally that's our switch over.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys. It should have been, on our schedule it says 7:15 a.m. It was just missed on the agenda here, so.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. So that's up to.
So is it gonna be
board here.
7:15 or 5:15?
That's what we need to decide.
I prefer 5:15 with Lincoln
I-
Project on
Yeah.
I
Okay.
agree with
the,
that.
so we will, just for clarity, have our next meeting Monday, May 23rd in this room at 5:15 p.m. And I would take a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
And a second?
A second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, the meeting is adjourned, thank you.